I'm going to be going over some of the questions that you guys asked me on my Instagram. A lot of you guys asked some really good questions, and I'm going to try to get through most of the questions in this video. So a few days ago, I posted on my story for you guys to ask me some questions. And if you guys don't already follow me on Instagram, go ahead and hit that follow button. My Instagram's right here. But yeah, if I didn't get to answer your question in this video, go ahead and comment them below or DM me on Instagram. I'll reach back out to you guys. So all the questions that I'm going to focus on are dropshipping related. So the first question was, what was a major game changer in your dropshipping journey? That's a really good question. And if I had to be real, the number one game changer for me with my dropshipping journey was transitioning my advertising from Facebook to TikTok. Ever since I've been on TikTok, I've been able to scale products a lot easier without having to worry about Facebook banning my accounts. And that was one problem that I faced a lot when I was still advertising on Facebook. So I don't know if you guys know about how Facebook likes to ban and suspend your advertising account randomly for no reason. And that kept me from scaling my business. I wasn't able to do more than 500 to 1,000 a day on Facebook ads because one day I'd be doing good and then the next day my advertising account would be suspended and I'd make $0. But once I transitioned all my advertising from Facebook to TikTok, I didn't have to worry about any of that. I was able to scale without worrying about my advertising account getting suspended. And that's when I started scaling to 6-figure months, 6-figure weeks, 10K days, all that kind of stuff without worrying about my advertising account getting suspended. So the next question is, what was a mistake that you made in your dropshipping journey that you would like others to avoid? So that's a really good question. So one of the biggest mistakes I used to make in my dropshipping journey was that I would stay attached to a product way too long. I would get too emotionally invested into a product that wasn't making me money. As in, maybe I'd find this product that I think is really good and I would think would make a lot of money, and I'd end up spending a lot of my time and money into that product, but it wasn't making me too much money and I would stay too long invested into that product. But with dropshipping, you got to be really quick, and if a product's not making you money, you got to cut it off really quick. And that's one thing that I struggled with back then. I didn't know when to cut off a product even though it wasn't making me money, and that's another thing that I see a lot of beginners struggle with as well. So if you have a product that isn't making you money, don't stay too attached to it. You got to know when to cut it and when to kill it. So next question is, how old were you when you made your first 100K? So another good question. So I believe I made my first 100K in revenue at 16 years old. And I think around the time when I just turned 17 is when I saw my first 100,000 in profit. So I think it was somewhere around my birthday from 16 to 17. I remember just looking at my bank account and seeing, my first $100,000 in there. And I was just like, wow, 16, 17, seeing that much in the bank account, it was such a crazy feeling. Honestly, I didn't know what to do, but obviously I didn't go out and start spending it like crazy. I reinvested most of my profits into the business. So the next question here is, what gives you motivation? One thing that gave me a lot of motivation back when I was in high school was I didn't want to go to college. And I always felt like it was a race against time. I had to make dropshipping work before I graduated senior year, or else I would have to go to college. And that's literally one thing that kept me pushing through my whole journey. I'd literally be up all night grinding dropshipping. And if I wasn't up all night, I'd wake up at 3 a.m. before school and grind dropshipping. And it forced me to make it work. And obviously, I did make it work. I graduated high school. I'm not in college. I'm just grinding my dropshipping stores right now. But obviously, I have a lot of other things that give me motivation to keep pushing hard every day. For example, I have 2 little sisters. I just want to set a really good example for them. I don't want their older brother to be known as like a failure or whatever. And I want them to know that anything is possible no matter how old you are. And I just want them to kind of follow through my footsteps. Another thing that gives me motivation is my mom. Growing up, seeing her struggle, she was a single parent trying to take care of 4 kids. I remember seeing her as a kid look through the couches for coins and any type of money so that she can pay the bills. And that was a really rough period for all of us, my whole family, and I don't ever want to see any of us go through something like that again. So that's another thing that gives me motivation to keep pushing. I want to be able to provide for my mom, my family, everybody. All right, so next question is, how important do you think it is to have a mentor when starting out dropshipping? Honestly, not just with dropshipping, it's really important for you to have a mentor with anything that you want to do. Learning off of someone who's done it before and learning from their losses and lessons that they took while doing it is very important. Not only does it speed up the process of whatever you're trying to learn, but it also makes it very easy for you to learn that skill or whatever you want to do. For me, whenever I started dropshipping, I was trying to do everything on my own, and I'm not gonna lie, it was really hard. I was just following all these YouTube tutorials that weren't really any help, and I almost gave up because I really didn't know what I was doing. But obviously, eventually I invested into myself and my education, and I learned the correct ways to dropship, and that's really when things started taking off. So if you want me to be honest, I think it's really important that you invest in your education, invest in somebody who's done it before and knows exactly what they're doing, so that you can see success as well with dropshipping. All right, So next question is, how did you raise enough money as a teenager to start dropshipping? I really like this question because I don't really talk about this a lot, but I know some of you guys from high school that may be watching this right now remember how I used to be selling snacks in school. I was literally known as the candy man, and I used selling snacks as a way to fund my online dropshipping business. I wasn't making a crazy amount, but I was making just enough, to start up the online business. I think I was making around like $100 a week or so. So after a few weeks, I had enough money to start, and I invested pretty much all of it into the dropshipping business. I was never really a big fan of the 9-to-5, so I didn't go out and get a job. I just started selling snacks, and I pretty much just always been an entrepreneur. So the next question is, would you say dropshipping is dead? Yes, dropshipping is dead. No, I'm just joking, but some parts of dropshipping is dead. For example, trying to dropship from AliExpress is completely dead. You gotta understand that things are always gonna be evolving, right? So a lot of old strategies that used to work with dropshipping that doesn't work anymore, they're all dead. And that's why you may hear some people say that dropshipping is dead, but that's why you gotta adapt. And that's exactly what I teach. I teach how to adapt to dropshipping and always stay up to date. The old methods of dropshipping doesn't work, like the general stores, all that kind of stuff. You got to build an actual branded store now in 2023 and going forward just to be successful. I don't know if you guys can see the rain, but it's pouring, but I'm out here grinding for y'all. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys have any more questions, please drop them down below. I want to try to do something like this every single month. So if you guys have any more questions, hit me up in the Instagram or drop them below. I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I'll see you guys in the next one.